Hello everyone, welcome to Lakshma Tech Networks. Before going to DSCP, let me explain about me. My name is Lakshma Reddy. I have 10 plus years of experience in networking domain, and I have worked various service and product based companies, Nokia, Tech Mahindra and Cognizant. Today I am going to explain DHCP. So DHCP is a dynamic configuration protocol. Mm, Dynamic configuration protocol. DHCP used the port number 67 and 68, and 67 port number is server side, and 68 port number is usually at the client side. And DHCP used for protocols. DHCP used for use protocol UDP protocols. It's work at layer 3, and DHCP IP allocation is done by using dora process. Dora means discover. Uh, dora means Dora means Dora means discover, offer, request, and acknowledgement. So before going to DSCP, how suppose in your organizations we have less number of year. I have taken the 4 devices. These 4 devices are working with, suppose if you have 4 devices are below 10 or 15 devices, we can able to easily configure the IP configurations, and we can configure it. But suppose in your company is extended, we have to configure that IP configuration more than thousands devices. It will it's take a lot of headache, right? So here that's time by using the DHCP configurations, you can configure, and you can by configuring the servers, we can able, when you are connecting to your network LAN network, then automatically assign the IP address to your PC. So here DHCP allocation is two type. One is static, is manual configurations, and DHCP is dynamic automation configurations. So static wise, if when you are configuring static, we will provide that IP address, that is if you have any networking, that is 192.168.1.1. So we can able to provide, and as well as subnet mask, default gateway, and a DNS servers, we need to manually enter. Suppose this will take in the heading of the process. Every system you will go and manually you need to enter. This is the take a headache. So that's we can avoid these manual configurations. Whenever you are connected to your LAN network, then you can able to get IP address by using the DHCP. So here DHCP. So if you are I created, see, so dynamic process, right? First dora process. Here dora process is discover process. Dora process, that is dynamic host configurations. Dora process here, client side discover. This is the client side, client and servers. I will take one. The one is the client means our side. Server means whatever the DHCP servers we have configured our LAN network. Then LAN network, we have a server configurations is there. We can create the server configuration by using DHCP server full name, and DNS server, DNS IP address, and primary address, and secondary IP address. If you have, we need to provide that in the server configurations. So once we have server configuration is done, then we can come to that client side. Here it is the client process. Whenever we are device is connecting to LAN network, that process is saying that we don't have, initially we don't have a IP address, we don't have configuration of IP address, right? Then at that time it is a 00. So what is the IP number? So it is a 00. Destination IP address is a server IP address. We exactly first at the time of connection, we don't know the server IP address. That's why it will process that. This is the 255 is the broadcast IP address. It will 255.255.255. This is the broadcast IP address. It will process by using the broadcast IP address. It will send that request. And we know that source MAC address, client source MAC address, we know that is the source MAC address of that client, our PC or host, you know. And broadcast you don't know that server MAC address, that is the FFF. Initially it is the broadcast frame, it will send that broadcast frame as a FFF. This is the message when you connected to LAN network, this information will be process. By how it will process, by using the boot startup protocol is there. Based upon that boot startup protocol is the operating systems. So based upon that brute process, startup protocol, we can process this request. Once we have processed the client, from client to server, the second, whenever the server is listen that process discovery messages, now server is listening, and it will take in the actions. So this is the server IP address. Just aging that I have provided that 192.168.1.0 as a server IP address, and destination IP address we don't have, right? We don't have, that is broadcast IP address. It will provide a not destination IP address. Here it is a, I think destination IP address is we are not provided here. Instead of 255, from it is a 0, 0 dot 0 dot and 0 dot 0 dot 0. Why? Because it is a 0 means it will not allocated the IP address. So that's why it is a 0 dot 0 dot 0. And the source MAC address we have from that server. You are sending that source MAC address from the server. It is the server MAC address and a destination MAC address also. We in the type of there it is the FF broadcast. We are not allocated that specific IP address to the destination of the MAC, destination of host. That's why it was a FFF. So in this discovery process, we got the MAC address, but that MAC address it will be available in a DHCP payload. In this DHCP payload, we have requested, this is that your YA add, this is the brute startup protocol mechanism. So in this brute startup protocol mechanism, we have a fields YA added, YA address, your MAC, your address is server is offering this IP address to your PC. And DNS server is DNS, we have a gate DNS server, that is 1.100. and gateway IP address is server gateway IP address is 192.168.1.4. and client MAC address based upon this CIADR, the client address. This is the MAC address of the client. Based upon this payload, it will forward that packet from server to client side. Now it is coming from client server to client side. So now offer message was came, and this offer message, it contains the information C, DNS server and gateway information, client MAC address, and your IP address, available IP address from the server pool. That is server is request available IP address offered to you. So those information will be available in DHCP payload. This information you are given to that client. What are the request is coming as a discovery. Now third one is from client. Now client is accepted, just accepted. That client is selected that this is the offer, right? 1.10 message, 1.10, and request to assign that assign the IP address. So how it will request it to assign the IP address? Client side is server IP. This is the source IP of client. This is the 0.0, and destination IP, that is a 255. That we have a doubt how we will get that 255 again. So why? Because we don't assign the IP address from server to the client. That's why it's still up to acknowledgement and provide the confirmation is done from server side. This is a broadcast request. Before that it is a broadcast. After confirmation has given from the server, then it is directly in this place server IP it will come. So like the, so it's not allocated the IP, just it will provide that what are the IP is available, that information is given to offer message. But client now is accepted and offering to request to assign the message to the as a request message sent to client server client to server. This side, this payload information will be there in this DHCP server. Already we have 1.1 available IP address server as requested. Here it is a XID information. Based upon that XID, here it is a XID transaction ID of DHCP payload. So what are the information is completed, that is discover offer messages based upon that transaction. So the in this XID field is available in DHCP header format. In that DHCP header we have a header type, header length, and hardware type. Sorry, not header, hardware type, length. These fields are available and XID fields are available. Based upon that those fields, it will identify it and send the request to exit to the server. So here it is the gateway IP address and the client MAC address is there, and this information will send to that server. Server will identify that already that information has came as a discovery message. It will check that this IP address is available or not. Suppose this IP address is available in server side, then server is requesting, okay, this IP is available, still I'm not assigned to any host, so we can take it. So that time server will send acknowledge message to the client, and so I'm assigning this IP address, we can take it. So like that the server will, from server side, how this header format, this is the header, this is the DHCP header format. So here DHCP IP address is client server IP address, and destination is actually here it is also a 0, not 255, 0.0.0, and here it is 0. This is the server MAC address, and DHCP client address which will be coming. This is the DHCP payload. This base load, by using this payload we can identify that server has given the acknowledge message to the client. Now client got the IP address, this is the client IP address. So here now acknowledgement is done. Now client will get client got the IP address. Now client, what is that IP address? 192.168.1.10. So by using this dora process we can get the IP address automatically. And initially it is only this or this all are processes. Disco dora process is done by using the DHCP protocol, not DHCP, UDP protocol. So this is layer 3 protocol. UDP is a layer 3 protocol, and port number is so UDP protocol port number is 17. That by using this protocol we can identify it and we can get the IP address. Why we have a TCP and UDP is there? Why they have used UDP especially part? So UDP is a very fast compared to, and it will deliver it to the client immediately. That is why it was used layer 3 protocol as layer 3 protocol UDP. So what is the port number of client side? Client side protocol, that is port number is 68 and server side port number is 67. These are the main, maybe you will get that information. It will helpful to interview point. Most of the interviews they will ask what is the DHCP process, how we will get the IP address, what is the header fields, what is the DHCP plural, how what is the information is available. Those are clearly I will mention step by steps, and these are parts of headers and payloads. um, all the information I provided, so we can easily to answer it. Thanks for watching the videos, and please subscribe and like for more videos. And we have some batches also. We can also, if you want to join, we can also join. Thank you.